Black Panther review. I've watched it 3 or 4 times now, and I think I finally figured out what the plot's about. Um, some of it I think I just wasn't paying attention. Some of it was because it was a little confusing how they wrote it, which I'll get into in a little bit. I still think it's not quite Iron Man or Guardians of the Galaxy quality, but it's pretty damn close. It has to do with the Oakland scene, and part of it is also because I'm racist and I sort of mix up characters. But it's understandable once I get to it. The Oakland scene, it's very weird. They mentioned Tim Hardaway, Run TMC, uh, this close to an ESPN reference, and that would have been really bad. Also, that has something to do with the end of Black Panther and how the recent Disney news made that look terrible. It's Disney, it's a company. It's not a charity. It's not sainthood. I'll get into that later. I'll probably forget, but I'll get that in another video. I like how in the beginning they go into the lore of the vibranium and how it makes Wakanda so powerful and resourceful and everything. I don't know if Wakanda's all of Africa or just one city. Some stuff is vague like that, which is a bit of a problem when they go into the Oakland thing, which I'll get into in a moment. It's very. It sort of has this Wonder Woman vibe. It has the non Caucasian male thing going. Technology looks great. Certain parts of the film, Ryan Coogler does the poor and the non-technological with the technological very good. The suits are of course excellent. I get a kick out of the guy who fights or duels with Black Panther at the beginning of the film, T'Challa, beginning of the film, and the Alfred or Q character, Lucius Fox character, doing the technological humor. That's pretty good. Other than that, it was pretty dramatic. Black Panther looks pretty damn good in the costume and a lot of his outfits. He should play Atlanta Calrissian. I don't know anything about. I saw Donald Glover in some of Atlanta. I don't know if he looks that good in the Lando suit. T'Challa, the actor who played T'Challa, meanwhile, did a great job. So in the beginning, there's the scene. I was to tell about it because this is like the weird thing. There's a scene and it gets very off-putting. And it's one. The reason was I didn't know, which I get into in the end of the review, that the characters will never. And they sort of don't explain why they're there. I don't know why they're in Oakland. And then it makes sense in the end, but I was like, the scene was sort of. I understand you want to set up something, but you didn't set it up. They could have done something with like a Batman Begins association with the father, or they could have started off with the scene with the father's death, and then seeing him in the afterlife in the middle of the film or something like that. It's a very long film, how they set it up, which is very good in that respect. It felt like a Dark Knight's second ending. It's getting a little boring after 10 years, but they tried. At least they were ambitious. At least they tried something that was good. So they have the scene where they're in Oakland. They're revealing the thing about the vibranium. And it sort of gets dropped. about why there's vibranium in Oakland. I don't really care that there's vibranium in Oakland. I'd rather learn more about Wakanda. And I don't. It's sort of offensive. At the time, it was really offensive to me. I'm like, Wakanda has all this technology and stuff. Why is there still poor African Americans in Oakland? That doesn't make any sense to me. And then later on, I pieced it together that it didn't necessarily imply that because Wakanda was so technologically advanced that the Oakland thing would still happen, but they don't get into it, and then they don't. It makes sense in the end. I'll get to it in a moment. But that was my beef early on in the film because like it didn't make any sense. The whole film's about very progressive African Americans or Africans. African Americans, meanwhile, aren't progressive, and it doesn't imply all of them aren't. Like, because of course you have like War Machine and the Falcon, but they're not in the film. And the other thing I thought about later on in the film was that like they're just technologically advanced Caucasians and Asians, but there's the poor as well, and they're not covered as well. So that's interesting as well. Although it's not really, there is the stuff like isolationism and how they don't benefit other people in the world, and how that's a factor in the end. And that brings me to the very good villain of the film. I think he's better than the Joker. He's definitely better than Loki, who has never been developed that well. Killmonger. I don't know his original origins, but this is really cool. It's like one of those gangster movies where like he's not even a gangster. He's like a Navy SEAL, but like he was created for like man, it was just crazy how they evolved. And the thing is, you could tell, unlike what they did with the stupid Oakland scene, which is actually not that stupid, which I'll get into later. I'll probably get into it now because like it's all to set up the Killmonger arc and how that sets up the whole Wakanda didn't help the rest of the world and then everything failed. It's idealistic to think that that would happen, that you just set up stuff and then everything will get better. Because like obviously it's not going to in a world with Loki and the Avengers bad guys and Ultron and Dark Elves. Like obviously stuff is gonna go bad. But I mean that's one of the things. I wonder if that was what Killmonger was thinking about, like he was trained on the streets. And I just gotta say, like, this is before Michael B. Jordan. I thought was like he's an okay actor. He's not bad, but he was okay. He was in pretty much every Ryan Coogler film. I'm trying to figure out what else. Fantastic Four, NBA 2K17. But he was really good in this. It's and you could tell they cut scenes on purpose on like the Oakland scene. And every cut scene they cut just made him built up a lot more better because like every scene he's in, it's a lot more memorable. He has every movement very sudden, very quick, very precise. A scene where he gets the mask and then he puts on the mask, and then his whole plan is just so intricate and well done. And it's because his whole life revolves around it. I don't know what I think about the ending with him. Like I feel like he like if they had kept him alive, that would have been opposed to what happens to his dad. But on the other hand, they kept him alive because they had the whole arc about, and it's not done that well because like you don't know what happens in this universe with Wakandans going to America and stuff, but like idea of real life U.S. world stuff, African diaspora or what do you want to call it, immigrants with the E. You wonder, it's a tough thing because like that stuff happened to a race or a large group of people over hundreds of years. But does it happen in the Marvel universe? I don't know. I don't know if to talk about it ever again, but something to think about. And from that perspective, like what Lemry said, Killmonger was a very interesting character. T'Challa's done pretty well. They're all pretty memorable in my opinion. I don't know what. I didn't think it was as weak of a film as they said. That being said, though, when I was watching Black Panther the first couple times, it was basically because I thought it was selling toys very well. And when I watched it this time, I felt that was a little bit more superficial, especially after the Tim Hardaway reference in Oakland, when this Wakanda stuff doesn't. It does after they do the Killmonger thing, but before they do the Killmonger reveal, it's very uncomfortable for me. And I thought they were just selling toys. But it wasn't as after they revealed the Killmonger thing. And another thing, I have to rewatch this again actually, because like, I don't know if I mistake the Black Panther 1 with Black Panther 2, that it got confusing for me. And it was really bad. But to be fair, I was in AMC theaters with like the really heavy sleeping chairs, so like I was more relaxed. And this didn't bother me. I don't know if it's because of the chairs, but like, I don't know. I didn't like the rest of the film. I was like, this, they did a lot of stuff right with like the different neighborhoods and Wakanda and stuff. So I'll rewatch it again. Black Panther 1 and Black Panther 2. If I understood that was Black Panther 1, maybe I would be more curious about what happened in the past and what happened with Black Panther 2, but this is my reaction now. The UK, Killmonger talks about the UK and moving weapons of vibranium outside of Wakanda to other nations, which is pretty interesting. So it shows that he's like an educated character and he likes talking about stuff while saying that in a very verbose, rigid way instead of showing it in a more artistic way, entertaining way. The Corvette's interesting. I like the technology with like the Wolf of Wall Street teleporting vehicles. I don't know why the Mark Freeman character is very interesting. American accent, CIA. There's a lot of interesting stuff. I don't know why he pilots the thing and they set that up very briefly. But I don't know why they had. It didn't have to be a setup, but it's like a nitpick. Like, this is, setting it up helps, setting it up doesn't help. But it was, the character was done well. I thought he was gonna die, and then he didn't die. I was like, why didn't you make him die? It wasn't like a good surprise or like a false start or something, but like it's like he should have died. That's how you set that up, and the alternative didn't work. But whatever. The traditional stuff I felt made sense because like America, you still do football with concussions, you still do sports. And I think that might have been a thing with Django Unchained. I sort of felt like there was some like Mendigo stuff from Django Unchained in here. Like you have technology, but you still have traditions, and not everyone's perfect. And there's obviously evidence of that, like the isolation of stuff and everything. The idea of not protecting refugees. And that was another thing that made me feel weird about the Wakanda thing because I misunderstood with the two Black Panthers. Why did they think Wakanda was a third world country? And then they're like, oh, they tricked them into thinking that was a third world country. So that makes sense. Again, this viewing is flawed, so you shouldn't take this as a review of not perfect because it might be a perfect film, and it probably is. I pretty much give close to it, even though this annoying thing with the Oakland Wakanda thing sort of annoyed me. There's like some plot holes and that might be minor too, like with Martin Freeman's character having a gun, even though they checked the guns earlier in the casino scene, and it was sort of weird because like the Wakandans don't have guns or weapons. Well, they sort of do, but so does he. But I don't know. They're supposedly checked. Also, Pretty Nyong'o is very good Korean. I thought it was a lot better than Jennifer Lawrence's Vietnamese in First Class. Days of Future Past, yeah. But I was very impressed by that. That was pretty good. And good job. I like how they made a reference to Afghanistan. I don't remember what the reference was, but that worked. I don't know if they need the Sebastian Stan thing. I felt there was a lot of post-credit stuff that was good with all the Avengers stuff. And I don't know, it's good because like I didn't like what they did with Winter Soldier and Civil War, but how they executed it was a lot better than what they did in those movies. So it was excusable. And okay, the Disney stuff. There's probably something else I'm forgetting, but the Disney stuff. So they offer to like set up like places to help under kids who are like in bad neighborhoods and need help. But I'm not even I don't even know if this is non African or Wakandan Americans. But the thing is Disney just took away all their bonuses from their employees, and first of all, they're not even doing that well anyway. So it's not. I mean, maybe they have to save the money, but like they really don't have to save the money. They're pretty. They're not Amazon, but like they have a lot of money. And freaking Bob Iger is getting re-signed. Like, why? They took away the bonuses from the employees that they promised, and then they did the Black Panther thing. What are thoughts on that? Pretty jerky, but I don't know. I've talked for like 18 minutes. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later.